Hi there, Working Homeschool Mom. This is Charlotte from Charlotte Jones 24/7 and My Little Homeschool. And this is episode number 123 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll find lots of episodes to help you on your Working Homeschool Mom journey. I'm a coach for new Working Homeschool Moms, and I help you figure out the messy beginning so that you can take your first steps with confidence. On today's episode, I welcome Autumn McKay. Autumn is a certified teacher and has a Bachelor of Science degree in early childhood education. And today we talk about ways to teach your little ones and also some of the ways to overcome burnout as a mom, as a working homeschool mom. It's a great episode. I'm sure you'll find lots of value in there. But before we get to the episode, I'd be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, or you could forward this episode to a working homeschool mom who needs some support on her journey. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. Hi there, and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm your host, and I am a podcaster, a speaker, a writer, and a homeschooling coach, specifically for Working Homeschool Moms. I've been homeschooling my neurodivergent twin boys since 2017, and I've been a working homeschool mom since 2017. So I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies for being a happy and thriving working homeschool mom. I cover things like time management, homeschooling, mindset, and lots of other juicy topics like that. I also speak to awesome and inspiring women who manage to juggle homeschooling and work successfully and find out what their secrets are. And I also welcome experts who can help you on your working homeschool mom journey. I have lots of ways to support you, so be sure to check them out in the show notes. You can download my time audit as your first step to managing your time better. I have a Facebook group for working homeschool moms that you can join as well. And be sure to sign up to my newsletter for weekly updates. And if you need additional support, you can join the WHM Collective, which is a supportive community of working homeschool moms where we delve deeper into topics that are going to help you thrive as a working homeschool mom. Or if you need one-to-one support, be sure to book in a session with me. I'm so excited for you to be here, and I know you'll get so much value out of this episode. So let's get started. Working homeschool mom, I know how overwhelming it can be to choose a math curriculum for your homeschool. That's why I'd like to tell you about the online math curriculum we've been using for years, ctcmath.com. As far as math curriculums go, it has loads of great features that solve lots of the math issues we've had, and I know a lot of homeschooling families have. Here are just a few of the many features that we really like. Questions are adaptive, which means the interactive questions change in difficulty depending on the student's ability. The program uses a smart algorithm that tracks the student's progress and delivers questions based on their exact needs. The student doesn't even know this is happening, helping them to build confidence and master math concepts. Concepts are delivered through video tutorials and summaries which are clear, complete, and easy to follow. It's like having your very own teacher. This ensures your children understand something before they're asked to practice it. And then for us parents, CTC Math has extensive reports which are so valuable in monitoring your child's progress and spotting any gaps. And they offer a 12-month money-back guarantee if this curriculum is not for you and your family. CTC will provide a full refund, no questions asked. But I think the most important thing is a whole lot less stress when it's math time for both parents and kids. You get to outsource math with confidence, and your kids get a fantastic tailor-made program that makes learning and mastering math enjoyable and positive. Visit CTC Math today to start your free trial. CTC Math is also offering you, listener, an amazing special. When you go to ctcmath.com/MLH, you can get a half price discount plus a bonus 6 months for free. That's ctcmath.com/MLH. Today, I'm really excited to welcome Autumn McKay from Best Mom Ideas onto the podcast, and we're going to be chatting about one of the topics my listeners and community talk about a lot, and that's how to find balance while juggling so much. So, with over a decade of marriage and the proud parent of two sons and a daughter, Autumn brings a wealth of personal experience to her work. Her lifelong dream of becoming a teacher led her to earn a Bachelor of Science degree in early childhood education, subsequently acquiring certification in multiple states. Balancing her passion for education with the joys and challenges of motherhood, she channeled her passion into creating engaging activities for her children, resulting in successful books like The Ultimate Toddler Activity Guide and many more. Recognizing the burnout that can accompany motherhood, she developed the Full Life Gratitude Journal for moms to help others find joy and mindfulness in their daily lives. Beyond education and parenting, she finds joy in outdoor activities with her family, dream vacation planning, and immersing herself in the pages of a captivating book. Welcome to the podcast, Autumn. It's really great to have the opportunity to chat to you today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
The topic today is one that resonates with so many of my listeners and my audience. As moms who work in homeschool, we need to juggle, balance, all the things. So, do you have any tricks that you use to find balance when you have to have so many roles, where you have to wear so many hats?
So schedules have always been my number one go-to thing that have helped me to find balance. When my kids were teeny tiny, I would write out the schedule and I would put it on the fridge. That way, I stuck to the schedule, my husband stuck to the schedule, and then anyone that came in our house knew our schedule. Which oftentimes that might mean that you have to say no to a lot of things because you want to stick to that schedule because it helps you and your kids know what to expect throughout the day. It just gives them a little bit of security. And so, yeah, so when they were little, we had to say no to a lot of things like family events or church events and things like that, just so that we could stick to nap time or feeding time and things like that. So, yeah, so having a schedule made us set boundaries for ourselves as well.
Yes, setting boundaries, not easy, definitely, but so
Yes.
vital. So very, very important. And it can be really hard at the beginning. Did you find it, was it easy to set boundaries, or did you have to kind of practice and it kind of got easier as you did it more often?
So it was not easy for me to set boundaries because I'm kind of like a people pleaser. So I felt bad saying no to people, especially my family. I like to be a part of the things that they're doing, but just to help our family be able to function, and I had to learn to stick up for my immediate family and learn how to say no because also I learned that when you say yes to one too many things, then you're also saying no to something else. So if I'm saying yes to going to an event that's past my kids' bedtime, then I'm also saying no to putting them in bed on time and them being happy the next day.
Absolutely. That's so true. I mean, you have to make the sacrifices and it's worth it. I know my kids as well really thrived on routine and things like that. And people were a bit can they, just be a bit more relaxed? But I'm like, no, they cannot, because we're all going to suffer for it for, multiple hours afterwards. Uh,
Yes.
so what do you do when things get really, really overwhelming?
So I normally have talk to my husband. I communicate with him just to it usually helps me to release the tension if I can talk to somebody. This is what's going on. I don't need you to solve the problem. I just need to get it out there. So it helps me to talk to him. And then if I need help, I ask for help. And it took me a long time to come to that realization that it's okay to ask for help. Previously, I thought I'm failing if I need to ask for help. But I've learned that people actually want to help, and it's okay that you can go to your community and your village and you can ask them for help. So that has helped me when I'm overwhelmed. And then also practicing gratitude has really helped me to be able to journal and count my blessings, and it helps me to focus on the positive in my life instead of the overwhelming feeling or the negative feelings that might come.
Yes, I love that. And I think as homeschoolers, it's also such a wonderful opportunity to model that for our kids. Because when they learn that when they're little, obviously we kind of came to gratitude quite late, though, didn't we? We're only let's say
Yes.
5 years into the gratitude journey. But if we can model that for our kids, it's such a wonderful gift to give them.
Yes, I agree.
Obviously, motherhood is a journey and a half. I think everybody who's a mom feels like, things have changed so much, you've learned so much. But what is the biggest lesson that you've learned through your motherhood journey?
I have learned that you need to give yourself grace. You're not perfect, nobody is. And you're going to mess up. Your kids are going to mess up. And so when you do have mess ups, you need to receive grace for yourself. And I think it's a good example for your kids to understand that nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. And so when you do mess up, it's okay to ask for forgiveness. And you can even ask them for forgiveness for the times when you have an outburst, and that they see that it's okay, that you can have those mess ups. They see how to make up for that mistake.
Absolutely. And I think there's so much personal growth that goes into getting to that stage, though, isn't it? If I just think about the thought of asking my kids for forgiveness, which I do a lot, well, not a lot, but, I have done in the past. I'm not perfect, but, it's just, it used to be such a foreign concept because you were like, I am the parent and this is the way it is. But if you want a successful family life, if you want a successful homeschool, you really have to do that a lot, I think.
Yes, I think so as well. And I had the same mentality years ago that, yes, I'm the parent, I have the right answers, but really, we're all learning as we go.
Absolutely. And I think homeschooling is also such an opportunity to kind of face so many things. So, what is your favorite part about homeschooling? Maybe you could also tell us a little bit about why you decided to homeschool and kind of your journey so far.
Yeah, so my favorite thing is the flexibility. We get to travel when we want to, we get to finish the day when we want to, we get to pick up our things and go to the library or go to the park or things like that. So that's my number one thing that I love about it. So I'm a teacher, and I never had the intention of homeschooling my children. I was like, oh, they'll go to public school. I went to public school. I did fine. However, when our oldest was getting ready to go to kindergarten, we went and did the kindergarten tour, and their class sizes were starting at 27. And so they could get anywhere from like 27 to 32 kids in a class. And I was just like, that is a lot. Like one person cannot instruct that many students. Like I know that from personal experience. And we just weren't in love with the idea that they would be at a school longer than they would be at home. So they were getting more outside influence than home influence. So we didn't want values pushed on them over what the values that we have at home. So yeah, that was kind of what led us to homeschooling.
And obviously, because this is a podcast for moms who work in homeschool, how has that journey been? Because I know it can be quite overwhelming. Obviously, if you're working and you're homeschooling and you have a house to run and all the things that have to happen every day. How do you manage that?
So again, schedules are a huge thing. When my kids were younger, I would work before they got up in the mornings, and then during their nap time, and then sometimes maybe like right after they went to bed or whatever. Now that they're older, they don't really have a nap time. So so now their homeschooling is a little more independent because they're 10, 8, and 6. So they're able to read their instructions themselves, and I'll teach them the overall concept, but then I let them go and do the independent work by themselves. And so that allows me a little more free time where I can like sit and work and then help when needed. That has been something that I've enjoyed, but they also enjoy the independence because they feel like they're accomplishing it on their own, and so they enjoy that part.
And I think it's also good for people who are in that season of homeschooling the littles that it does get easier. I mean, obviously, when you're in it, it can be overwhelming. It does get easier, and also to always prioritize, I think, that independence and learning because
Mm-hmm.
it'll help you so much for the rest of your like working and homeschooling journey.
And I think it helps them as well because like once they go to college, they know how to like study, and they know how to manage their time on their own. So I think that is also beneficial.
Absolutely. Yes, that's so true. And so I know you've created books with activities for kids. So what are some fun things that kids can do during homeschooling? Because I know especially people who have little ones, maybe they're a little bit worried about what to do with them when they're not kind of doing like a curriculum or bookwork. So what are some fun activities that they can do?
So, my number one suggestion is think about what your kids enjoy. What are they into right now? So, those are what most of my activity books are about. They're things that my kids were interested in at those times. So, my activity books have things like learning about butterflies and doing fun activities with butterflies, or learning about construction chucks or space, or there's learning letters and engineering, things like that. Your child is going to be more interested in learning if it's something that they're actually curious about. So I suggest picking a topic that they're curious about and doing fun hands-on activities in those categories. You can find many of them in my books. But a lot of sensory play is also good, especially for those younger learners. Just like being able to use your hands to feel things, smell things, taste things. Those are really good activities for those younger learners because they are very sensory oriented. And then for the older ones, again, go back to like what they're interested in. So all of my kids right now are very interested in cooking and art. And so we are doing a lot of like hands-on cooking lessons in our kitchen, and I'm teaching them how to like price things out in the grocery store and then come back and like actually cook that item. Or we're learning about different artists and different techniques, and we're practicing those techniques with different crafts and stuff like that.
You very generously have a free gift as well for the audience. Maybe you can tell them a little bit about the Ultimate Mom Saver Activity Bundle, which sounds awesome.
Yeah, so those are 6 activities from one of my books. It's about community helpers. And so they're hands-on activities that you can do with your toddler. And then it also includes 6 coloring pages from my husband's Little Engineer coloring books.
Okay, and now obviously I'll link that in the show notes. So before we wrap up, maybe you can also tell everybody where's the best place for them to connect with you online, anything you're working on as well at the moment that you're excited to share.
So you can find me at bestmomideas.com. And then I'm also on Facebook and Instagram under Best Mom Ideas. I'm not currently writing anything at this moment. I just finished up 3 Teach Your Child to Read books. And so those are out, and they're hands-on ways to teach your child to read in the beginning stages of how to hear the sounds, and then the actually putting the sounds together to form words, and then all the like harder rules of learning to read. So yeah, those are out now.
Okay, that's awesome because I know when your kids are little, the learning to read can feel so overwhelming. So I think any help you can get, I mean, that's awesome. And obviously, like you said, hands-on is also always the most effective way to teach things for little ones, isn't it? It's been wonderful chatting to you today, Autumn. Thank you for sharing your tips and experiences with my audience. I'm positive they're going to feel empowered to start juggling everything in their busy lives and also to have some ideas from really great and fun activities that they can do with their kids in their homeschool.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Please let me know what your greatest takeaway was. You can reach out to me on Instagram at charlottejones247 or on my website at mylittlehomeschool.com, or you could even drop me an email at hello@mylittlehomeschool.com. I'd be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. It will help spread the news about being a working homeschool mom, and in that way we can build this wonderful supportive community together. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, take care.